AskRedd by expert recover 3061. What's the best response to dad? I think I'm gay. Deleted. RIP gay bastard. My mother was disappointed. Disappointed because you told your cousin Shirley before you told me? I think I should have been first. Didn't she mean surely she should have been first? Deleted. Sit down lady, we gotta talk. I have to tell you something and I really hope that it doesn't change anything between us. You're my granddaughter after all. So. Didn't think it would be that hard. But. Sarah. You're gay. You still have to wear a condom. For me this is the most real dad answer. Doesn't question what you're doing, just wants to make sure you're doing it right. Dad, I think I'm gay. Don't just think it, you have to do it. Your mother owes me £10. My wife and I have a $50 bet concerning our oldest son on this topic. When he found out about it, I just told him, son, I will love you even if you lose me $50. It's okay, your mother likes guys too, maybe I am the weird one. I have a gay friend with lesbian mothers and a straight brother. I like to joke about which one turned out wrong, the one who isn't gay, or the one who doesn't like women. I thought you were about to give me bad news. Don't scare me like that. My granny when my uncle came out, in the 70s dart. She was decades ahead of her time. This was my literal response when my brother came out to me. He'd called me and said he had something urgent to tell me and it had to be face to face. I was a bus journey away and started to panic, so I made him tell me over the phone. I'm gay. I know that. I thought someone had died. So that's why you don't like mushrooms. At least that's what my friend's dad said to him when he came out. We still don't know what he meant by that. Can confirm. I'm gay and don't like mushrooms. It tracks. One of my friends from high school was gay, and when he came out to his family his dad literally didn't look up from his newspaper and told him his sister didn't need to tell him she was straight, so why would he need to explain that he was gay? He's known him his whole life and already knew that. It was cute because he was so worried. I had a friend who came out to me and asked me to be around when he told his mom. She was awesome, IDK why he wanted me there. So he walks into her office and I'm outside the door. He is obviously nervous and fidgeting. She looks up and goes, "Oh good, you're out of the closet." Gave him a quick hug and told him to go buy something she needed for dinner. You still have to take out the garbage. Well, my dad said I know. And I don't care. As long as you are happy, I'm also happy for you, and then asked me if I wanted a beer or scotch to celebrate that I finally had the confidence to tell him. That's better than a buddy of mine from college. His dad was one of those manly men, firefighter, did woodworking in his spare time type guys. My friend wanted support when he came out to his dad, so I went with him. He told his dad that he was gay, and his dad just said, "No shit. You've been gay since you were 14. He then looked at me and asked if I was his son's boyfriend. My friend replied no, just my friend, and his dad said, "But you can do better." Fucking brutal. My buddy then told his dad that he loved him, and his dad grunted, which is manly man talk for "I love you too," and then he grilled us cheeseburgers. Our son came out to us a month ago. We already suspected, so it wasn't a shock. When he told me I thanked him for telling me, told him that I loved him, then explained that who he wants to tell next and how he wants to tell them is 100% his choice and we will support him however he wants and needs. He gave us a list of people to tell, and by the end of the week he wanted everyone to know. Love and acknowledgement and support. I love reading these positive stories. I wish it had been like that for me, but seeing just how much things have changed gives me a lot of hope. One thing I would love to remind all parents of LGBTQ+ children is that the same rules apply as if they were straight. You should have the talk, You should keep an eye out on their romantic interests, on who their friends are, and, of course, make sure they're safe, that they're not being bullied, and that they're not doing things that they are not mature enough for, even if they get mad at you. Particularly gay teen boys seem to want to go from being children to full-blown adults that have random hookups, which is not safe at all. This story does not involve a dad, but it involves a very religious grandma. One of my friends was very nervous about telling his grandma that he was gay, and put it off for a long time. But when he turned 18 he decided that he had to get this done. When he told her, she just looked at him calmly, answered, "Of course you are. I have known that since you were 10 inches. At the age of 10 he didn't even know it himself yet." Edit. Thank you very much everyone for upvotes and the award. It is good to think about that my most popular comment to date is about my friend being accepted for who he is. Thank you again. A friend of mine told me he knew his son was gay because around that age his son always pointed out how strong road workers were whenever they passed them on car rides. I was getting ready to go to a sleepover with a girl I was totally crushing on, and my mom was like, "You look like you're getting ready for a date." And I paused and was like, would it be okay if I was going on a date with a girl? My mom just said, "Of course, just remember to practice safe sex. You can get STDs from girls too." Edit to at first. Thanks for all the positive praise from my mom. She is wonderful. For clarification, since some people were making it weird, I was 15/16 at the time this happened. Also, this appears to set off a debate about, do you allow same-sex sleepovers if your child is attracted to the same sex? I think in my mom's point of view, if I was into girls, then we were dodging the teenage pregnancy bullet. But truthfully, she knew that teens do things no matter what is allowed or not allowed. It's a time of experimentation. I could go over to someone's house and we could sneak out and meet up with boys. All she had control of is the knowledge and tools she gave me to navigate the murky waters of the teenage years. Your mom is awesome. I drunk dialed my dad my freshman year of college in a sobbing mess and told him I was bi. Went something like this. Me, I'm bisexual. Dad, yeah, I figured. Me, huh? What? Dad, there were some obvious signs. Go to sleep, idiot. You have class in the morning. Edit. Goodbye in box 3. Paying for this expensive college. This fool better be getting up for class. Lesbian here. When I came out to my dad he said, "That's okay honey, I don't like guys either." Just like your old man. Hi gay, I think I'm dad. Seriously though, when my son came out I just said he was my son and it changed nothing between us other than I was happy he was discovering himself and growing up. Any man who would abandon or shun his own son for being gay is no man at all. I can't believe I had to scroll this far down for the dad joke. My daughter was looking extremely nervous one night while I was cooking dinner. I could see her talking quietly with her mom, but she continued to look uneasy. After a bit of time, she came into the kitchen and I asked her what was wrong. She didn't want to tell me at first, but I could tell she was uneasy, so I said she could always tell me anything. She finally said that she was pansexual. I just looked at her and said, that just means twice as many people that can turn you down for dates now, and she busted out laughing as I went back to cooking to finish dinner. She was apparently really nervous about telling me for some reason and was glad I wasn't upset. You were cooking dinner? You missed a golden dad joke chance. Get your own pan. This is mine. My cousin came out gay and trans at the same time. My uncle seriously said, "So, you're a boy who likes girls or a boy who likes boys?" He just got really confused, but it's cleared up now. Please no hate, but can you clear this up for me because I genuinely don't understand and would like to be educated. So am I. Let's go tell your other dad. When my daughter told me she was gay, I just told her I loved her, and that none of that would change my feelings. Then I began giving her the heads up when hot ladies would walk by. Embarrassing your kids too, Electric Boogaloo. Firstly, I love you. Now, did you steal one of my beers? I want you to know that no matter who you love, I still need you to take out the trash. It's full. And replace the fucking liner this time. No matter who you get hot for, don't touch the damn thermostat. My mate's dad said that's nice son and carried on reading his paper. He's lucky to have such a cool dad. If I'd been gay my dad would have exploded. Edit for those asking, this happened in about 1997, and yes, my friend thought his dad may already suspect as much, but he didn't for a moment think the response would be so casual. They're a great family. My friend married his long-term partner some time ago and they have a very nice house which I am incredibly jealous of. Same, my parents are very homophobic. My dads are just cruel. My high school aged daughter told me this exact thing while in the car a couple of months ago. I told her thanks for being brave enough to tell me, honey, I don't care who you love, only that they love you back as much as I do and are worthy of the love you give them. Make sure they deserve your love and make you a better person, and I'll be happy. Honestly, a lot of the stuff on this thread is stuff that I wish my parents told me as a straightish woman. To know the love I give has value, man, that would have saved a lot of heartache. You've definitely given me something to keep in mind for my future kids, however they turn out. I came out a few months ago at the age of 42. My 80-year-old dad stood up, started dancing, and tone deaf sing yelling I have a gay daughter and I love her. It was adorable. Am also 42. Was recently explaining to my mom what all the LGB letters stood for. And mentioned I was bi. I could tell her brain skipped a second, then she was like, you do you, and we just went on talking. I'm hetero-romantic so I've never hid anything, but we were on the subject, so she still doesn't grasp the difference between bi and pan. My stepdad, who I consider my dad, was the man that raised me, and he's a big redneck steel worker. I came out at 18 and he sat me down and said, son, I've loved you like you were my own for the past 14 years. Why the hell would I stop now? A guy I was in high school with and was very obviously gay was pissed when he came out to his parents and they didn't care about that factor. He had a rough relationship with them anyway, and they told him they weren't angry he was gay, they were angry he was an asshole and always acting out and being disrespectful to them. Asian dad, but are you a doctor yet? How's your grade, son? My wife asked me this when we found out we were having a son. I told her I'd make sure he knew how to fight before he told anyone else. I love the boy no matter what, but we live in rural Montana. Of course folks are more accepting than they were in previous generations, but you never know. Never a bad idea to teach your son how to throw some hands. Let me just check Reddit for the most appropriate response. Jots down notes. Son, let me just check Reddit for the most appropriate response. Continues to look at phone as son has confused tears on his face. Son, let me just check Reddit for the most appropriate response. Tears continue. Son, I have to ask Reddit a new question. This may take time. Dad, why won't you listen to me? Son, what's butt sex like? Perfect. What's the best response when your dad tells you he's gay? Mine was to ask for pizza, but IDK if that was what I should have said, lol. When my daughter came out as pan, I told her to stay away from my cast irons. Then she rolled her eyes and I said, JK, that's really cool, I love you. Edit. A lot of people seem to think I'm making shit up. This is not the case. I would die for my daughter's right to love whoever she wants to love. Gender should not matter when it comes to being in love. I want my daughter to live in a world where she feels just as comfortable walking down the street with a girlfriend as she would a boyfriend, trans, or whoever she loves as a person. If you're so closed-minded to where you can't see how asinine it is to tell people who they should and should not love based on a book written by very subjectively flawed men with their own agenda, then I feel sorry for you. Sorry that you cannot think for yourself, and sorry that your parents and community have failed you. Deleted. When my brother came out to my mum, she said, "Really? I always thought me would be the gay son. I had a girlfriend at the time my parents had just found out about." What do you think? I know 3 gays and you are 2 of them. Okay, I've been laughing at this one for like 10 minutes. Thank you. When I came out my dad had the best response ever. Wow. Now maybe I'll get a son-in-law that I really like, and then he hugged me. Daughter and her husband stare on awkwardly. Wow. So are me and your father. What a coincidence. If your parents are both guys, does the kids need to heave a talk to come out as straight? As a gay man who doesn't have a relationship with his homophobic parents anymore, this thread brought a tear to my eye. The best answer is, and will always be, match their energy. If they're serious, take it seriously. If they're really nervous, then show them you love them and reassure them that they're perfect the way they are. If they just throw it out there like it's no big deal, then don't make a big deal out of it. There's no one way to react to someone coming out. You have to use your emotional intelligence and read the room a little. But the most important thing is to just be supportive. Even if your response is sorta tone deaf, if you mean well, then your kid will get that. This is the most complete answer here. Just playing it off like no big deal might actually be really invalidating to some kids who work themselves up to do it. Deleted because fuck Reddit. The father casually saying he isn't attracted to women either. I'm B. When I came out to my parents, it wasn't exactly planned. My older brother knew I was dating a girl and he accidentally let it slip in front of my mom. My mom looked at me and asked if I had a girlfriend. I said yes. She then proceeded to ask when I'm bringing her over for dinner. It was the most normal conversation about dating I've ever had with my mom. I later found out my mom is also bi, so it really wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was at the time. I had a friend who came out to me before his parents and was super worried about how they'd react, so wanted to kinda test the water as it were and see how I responded first. I replied, "Mate, they've tolerated you being vegetarian for almost 5 years and that means having to cook different food. This is gonna be easy for them. Also your mum already knows." Funnily enough, his dad cracked a similar joke about being veggie. Deleted. A big ol' hug. Remind them you love them and that love is not dependent on their character, nature, lifestyle or choices in life. You can ask a little about how they found out and whether they'd like to change their home life in any way you can help with. Otherwise, I'd just try to treat them exactly as I did before, making them feel what I suggested, saying above that your love and their place in the family are safely theirs. Think, haha, son, I've known you forever. You're Mary Poppins gay. I've loved my gay son since you refused to slide into third base because I'm not going to ruin this uniform. Thank God for that. I thought you were going to tell me you're a Manchester United fan. Now that truly is something that can get you disowned. Gay, I think I'm dad. Hi, probably gay. I'm definitely dad. Maury Povich has entered the chat. And how sure are you of that statement? I'm not gay, but my dad had a time where he doubted about my sexuality because I never talked nor bring girls to the house XD. That being said, one of the funniest supportive phrases my dad told me was, "Hey, your ass, it's yours. Only you decide what you put in that lol." Great. Now I don't have to worry about you getting some girl pregnant. Dad said this. Deleted. Reminds me of a TikTok I saw recently. A Vietnamese man tells his family that he is gay and is worried about the reaction of his father. His father thinks for a moment and responds, a new yen is a new yen. Sounds like a new yen new yen.